Hello, everyone. Today, I will provide a workshop, forgiveness and gratitude exercises. Before I will start my workshop, I would like to introduce myself. Many of you already familiar with me, but for someone who is joining today first time, I need to introduce myself again. My name is Lucina Bartsumian. I'm a master level psychologist. I work at counseling and psychological services. And I have two master degrees. They are both in psychology, but with different type of trainings. My Master of Science in Medical Psychology and Master of Art in Clinical Psychology. Why I decided to talk about forgiveness and gratitude and how we may exercise and cultivate those virtues and experiences. I was always amazed by some group of my clients who faced enormous and horrific type of experiences, but they were able to overcome through that pain and struggle and slowly move in their life in the right decision, in the right directions of the healing. And today's workshop will divide it on two parts, forgiveness and gratitude parts. And I will start from forgiveness. What is forgiveness? And I was trying to think about this because all of you know that forgiveness is some kind of conscious decision that I'm ready to move in this direction. And I decided to put this type of explanation of forgiveness. Forgiveness is the intentional and voluntary process when person goes through change and overcomes painful, harmful, negative feelings harbored toward the person or group who has committed a wrong. Forgiveness is about making a conscious decision, giving up suffering and transforming into healing. And when we talk about negative and painful feelings, they are very strong type of feelings, very powerful, that they may destroy us. It's resentment, anger, bitterness, and revenge. And in some kind of situation when people feel this way, it's very normal, taking in consideration what they experience and what they were facing in their life. It's very important to understand what is not forgiveness. Forgiveness is not forgetting the harm and injustice done to you. Forgiveness is not excusing or it's not minimizing victimization and trauma experiences. Forgiveness is not reconciling if you're not ready to maintain those relationships or interact with those people or system that was treating you wrong way. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you're weak, naive, or foolish. Why I decided to mention about this part? Because many times I was hearing from my clients, they were telling, if I will forgive, it will look like I'm a weak and they will take again advantage of me. But it's not about weakness. It's about the strength, being able to help yourself to recover and move from those dark, painful places and agony of the pain. Forgiveness is not a black or white experience. It's a complicated emotional process. You may never be able to completely forgive another person, but you may work to get closer to the. And forgiveness, like how I mentioned, it can be very challenging. You may find yourself being stuck, and it's a commitment to be able to move through this process of change and to move from suffering to forgiveness. In the process of forgiveness, it's very important to be able to recognize the value of forgiveness and how it can improve your life. Identify what needs healing and who needs to be forgiven and for what. Acknowledge your emotions about the harm done to you and how they affect your behavior and work to release them. Choose to forgive the person who has offended you, even if it's very difficult when you're going through that struggle. Move away from your role as a victim, be able to move from this role and release the control and power the offending person and situation have done in your life. As you let go of grudges, you will no longer define your life by how you have been hurt. You may even find compassion and understanding. When I was thinking about forgiveness, and I definitely was searching and reading different articles and books and authors, and it was so interesting that forgiveness, it's a cross-cultural experience and virtue, and all religions they are covering. And I decided to mention like some types, and the major four types of forgiveness, that summarizing everything what I was reading, it showed that, and my experience definitely working with people, divine forgiveness is a forgiveness, like people divide them for four parts, and divine forgiveness is a forgiveness by God or higher power. And it's so interesting that more spiritual and religious people, they always experiencing this part. Forgiveness of others is about having been offended or wronged. Self-forgiveness is more about the experience of self-condemnation and being able to relive it. Intergroup forgiveness is about giving up resentment toward an offending outgroup situated in specific socio-political or cultural context. And you know, many people, they experience that they were, or group of the people, they were not treated respectfully, or they were mistreated and abused because they belong to some kind of group. Now, when we're talking about forgiveness exercise, how I mentioned it, trying to use word exercise, it's a very deep and, how I mentioned, complex work with your experience, and sometimes it can be, how I mentioned, very horrific experience. You may lose the loved one, you may be betrayed, abused, mistreated, neglected, raised in the very abusive household, and it's not easy to move and forgive, but what we can exercise to start the road which will take us toward healing of those deep wounds, because when we're healing our deep wounds, it's a process of self-exploration. Important thing is being to understand what means forgiveness for someone particularly, because it's the experience which is different for all of us and depend which kind of things we have experienced in our life. Being able to learn forgiveness. Be patient, because forgiveness is a process. It's not going to happen during a short time of the period. It may go through life. Feel your pain. Being able to understand what you're feeling and name your pain. Be able to describe what is there instead of denying or trying to pretend that it's not there when you're every day experiencing that. Be able to validate your feelings, let it out, take actions, which means being able to redirect your thoughts, be trying to change your perspective, and sometimes it's not even easy to go through this road. Helping yourself to live in the present, because when our thoughts and feelings about revenge and pain, it's not easy to be in the present. You're constantly living and re-experiencing that mistreatment and injustice that was done toward you. Starting to use forgiveness journal, being able to write down everything what you're experiencing, and able to yourself to see it a little bit differently, because when you're writing, you're having that moment when you're reflecting, but you are a little bit more detached. Being able to practice empathy toward your own self and all the situation that you were experiencing, practicing more mindfulness. It's about like being present, being mindful about your feelings, senses. As I mentioned, like religious, spiritual people, they like to pray because it helps them. You may use guided meditation because it has the same type of help. Reflect on the time you have hurt others and on those who have forgiven you, because all of us were human beings. We are in different type of interactions and situations and experience that we may done something wrong and those people are forgiving us. Talk with a person you have found to be wise, compassionate and trustful, because it helps. Try to join support group. Start counseling. Find meaning and strength through your pain. Why I mentioned about meaning in pain, because when I was thinking about this workshop, it came in my mind. All of you read and all of you familiar with this author, I'm more than sure, Viktor Frankl, and his book Man's Search for Meaning. And he's a great philosopher, psychiatrist, but he's also Holocaust survivor. And in his book, he mentioned that even in the most horrific and painful circumstances, we have the freedom to create meaning in our life, which is a powerful healing agent. And I'm also trying to mention here another explanation of forgiveness by Robert Assagioli. He is also a psychiatrist, psychologist, Italian psychologist and psychiatrist. He's a founder of psychosynthesis, and many who love psychology and read books related to this type of topics. He's also a pioneer for transpersonal psychology. Without forgiveness, life is governed by endless cycle of resentment and retaliation. And many who was experiencing this type of stages in their life, they know it's a cycle. It's like an endless cycle when you're trying to live that cycle, but it's not easy. Now, what is forgiveness, and what was showing my clinical experience, research data, and other clinicians, and simply someone who experienced, they noticed that forgiveness, when we're able to start this process, again, it may take many years for someone. It can be during all their life, depend what they have experienced. When we're able to go through forgiveness, it helps us, it protects our mental health, because it removes us from that agony of the pain. It improves our physical health. It helps us to sustain relationship, because we are not isolated, we are not angry, we are not constantly in bitter and hostile. We are not experiencing bitterness and hostile toward others, and people would like to interact with us. We have energy to interact with those people. It boosts our connectedness, and those things are very related to each other. Now, I would like to share with you a short video about forgiveness. will move toward other one. And this is the man who forgives to his brother martyr and during court hearing.
You're watching Bay News 9 on demand, only on Bright House Networks.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, and what's your name, please?
I'm George Castrinos, Castrinos. I'm David Heath's little brother.
Yes, sir. What was you like to
I'm glad to be here. Say hello to everybody. Want to say hello to you? Dorian, I don't want bad things for you. All right? I want good things for your family. You know, I've been thinking about this day for a while, and I came from California to be here. So I have a dictionary. I had a dictionary. I looked up some words, and the first word I came up with was revenge. It wasn't a Webster's dictionary, but I was the best I could find. Revenge says punishment or injury inflicted in return for what one has suffered. A desire to inflict this, to set satisfaction by inflicting vengeance. And the next word that came to my mind that was in the category of R, it said revelation. It said revealing, making known something that was secret or hidden, especially something surprising. The next word I came to was redemption, to redeem, to make up for faults of deficiencies. Then I came to regret, a feeling of sorrow for the loss of a person or a thing. And then came to mind with salvation, and it said saving of the soul from its consequences. And it came to the word fear, it said to have an uneasy feeling. And then forgiveness, it said to cease to feel angry or bitter toward a person or about an offense. And I looked up the word atonement, it said to make amends, correction, to make up for some error. And I'm reading these words because, you know, I wrote some other words down. I didn't write the meanings of them, but since, you know, January 17th, my whole life has changed, and I started to have a shift before that, my awareness. You know, and I'm reading this book right now. I've read a lot of books. This book I'm reading is called Course in Miracles, and the main object of that book is atonement and forgiveness. And, you know, most people just want to feel good. They just want to sleep in peace and wake in joy. And for a long time, it wasn't like that for me. But since the death of my brother, I've kind of come into my own personal spiritual alignment. And it's almost like anything that hasn't served me has just kind of dropped. Almost like as a dog comes out of the water and just shakes it off. So Dorian, I want you to know that I want good things for you, you know? I don't want you to die in the death sentence, you know? And you're up here pleading guilty. I mean, and I still don't really know totally if you pulled the trigger on my brother, and it doesn't really matter right now. I just want, you can go to, you're going to go to prison, and there's beauty in there if you look for it. There's beauty right here in this courtroom right now. And you know, these words of revenge and regret, and it's like, because of this, I can come from atonement and forgiveness and stand right here before you today, right before you guys, and tell you, I'll forgive you. That David Heath's little brother forgives you. And I want you to know that. Regardless if you did this or not. I mean, it sure looks like you did this crime. It's between you and your Maker. So wherever you're going, Just remember, David Heath's little brother forgives you. And that's your mother over there. I want good things for that one. And your family that was here earlier, I want good things. I want good things for everybody in this courtroom. And I know if my brother was here right now, he would be cool with it. I know he would. I know David would be cool with it. Maybe one day you could tell me how it went down or whatever, you know, if it's all right with you guys, I'll send you a book in jail or a letter or whatever, you know. We'll just see how things go. Okay. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Castrino, sorry.
Now, be able to move from the video that we watch, and you were able to see that even in worse experience that people may have in their life, they are trying to go through the path of the forgiveness and have a healing. Be able to get connected with ourselves. After watching this type of video, I would like to offer you a short forgiveness meditation. It's about 6-7 minutes, and you can simply sit relaxed and try to go through this guided meditation by listening and helping yourself to reflect through your own experiences.
There is a space inside my being that is known as the heart. And when I have pure feelings for other people in my heart, when I have love and openness towards others, the heart is a place of illumination. When the heart is filled with truth and with pure feelings, I feel a sense of joy, of lightness in life. And it's as if I have no burdens. I am able to be carefree. But when I hold any type of grudge or resentment, that resentment becomes a cage that keeps me from my own goodness. Allow yourself to move into a space of stillness as you prepare to reflect on a question. Think of one person in your life who you hold resentment towards, someone that you can't forgive, and ask yourself, how do you see this person in your mind? When you interact with them, when you talk to them, when you think about them, how do you see them in your mind? Chances are, you see their defects, you see their weaknesses, and you continually see the mistakes they've made. And that vision is the prison itself. Now moving back into that space of reflection, ask yourself, is that absolutely who that person truly is? Is that absolutely who that person truly is? Or is that perception of them a cage that holds both of us? To release yourself from resentment, understanding is essential, and most importantly, the understanding of our universal story. So take a deep breath and allow yourself to go on a journey beyond the limits of your perception, beyond time, and into the eternal story of the soul. Let go of the world that holds you and enter in to a different space. as souls, we come from a region of light, pure silence, where there is no sound, where there is no time. So just sense yourself there. This is where every single one of us come from. This is the home of souls, beyond physicality, an ocean of light, an ocean of peace. Allow yourself to be immersed in that ocean of peace as you remember the true nature of all living beings around you. All of us come from that world and we enter the physical dimension. We enter this world to play our parts on the stage of the earth, to experience life in the physical form. And when we first begin, the path is filled with joy. It's illuminated with the qualities of our souls. But something happens. After many births and after much time has passed, we go from a place of innocence and freedom and truth and soulfulness, and we journey on to a place where we feel more and more distant from our souls. It's as if we develop spiritual amnesia. We get caught in the physical, and all of a sudden we experience loneliness. We experience separation from our soul and from God. And it's as if all souls become like orphans, lost and in pain. It is only from this pain that all of us have caused each other sorrow. When we have pain, we can only give pain. But it's not our natural nature. If I want to change the vision of the person that I resent or can't forgive, I have to let go of that small vision, that cage I hold them in, and remember our universal story, that we're all doing our best, and the only pain came from being separated from our own light. When I can remember this, I can begin to shift my mind to a place of understanding, and I can begin to see other souls as God sees them. And instead of demanding them to be a certain way, I can love them for who they truly are, who they have forgotten themselves to be. In this way, I will step out of the cage of resentment and return to that beautiful space of the heart that is illuminated, that is light, that is beautiful. When you are able to do this, you will once more travel the journey of life back home to your real self and to your natural state of joy.
Now, hopefully all of you back from this beautiful guided meditation, and now I'm moving towards second part of my workshop, gratitude. What is the gratitude? And all of you are experiencing appreciation, thankfulness, gratefulness to someone or something. And when I was thinking about gratitude, I decided to use a definition presented by Harvard Medical School because it covers like very interesting aspects of gratitude. Gratitude is a thankful appreciation for what an individual receives, whether tangible or intangible. With gratitude, people acknowledge the goodness in their lives. In the process, people usually recognize that the source of that goodness lies at least partially outside themselves. As a result, gratitude also helps people connect to something larger than themselves as individuals, whether to other people, nature, or a higher power. I'm sorry, we will move. As I mentioned, gratitude is a feeling of being grateful and appreciative. It's a positive emotion that can be cultivated and practiced. It has been noted that gratitude can be experienced as a short-term emotional state or can exist as an ongoing long-term personality trait. And some people, they are more prone to be grateful than others. In a positive psychology research, because usually positive psychology was studying gratitude and how gratitude can change our life, they noticed that gratitude is associated with happiness. Gratitude helps people feel positive emotions, have good experiences, improve their mental and physical health, helps deal with adversity, and build strong relationship and better social interactions. And I decided to use and create this type of diagram when I was thinking about all those parts, like a mental health, when you're healthy, how it affects on the happiness, the core part, like mental health, physical health, social health, relational aspect of your life is going healthy way. Definitely you're going to be happy and experience happiness because all of this contributes, and when you're happy, it contributes back to all those aspects of our being. Now, when we're talking about physical health benefit, it was very interesting that data was showing that usually people who are more grateful, they have this trait, or they have emotional awareness, practice gratefulness, they have a stronger and better immune system. They have improved sleep. An interesting thing was that it not only improved sleep, but also longer sleep. During night, they're able to get that sleep and rest. A lower blood pressure and less bothered by pain and physical sense of discomfort. Psychological benefits, they notice that people have reduced aggression, they have enhanced and increased empathy, they have improved self-esteem and self-concept. And we know that when we have a better self-esteem and self-concept, we feel satisfied about ourselves and we see environment around us differently. They experience high level of positive emotions, joy, optimism. They have this vital energy of happiness, what they would like to share with other people. I'm sorry. Okay, I will go back. When we're talking a social benefit, it was noticed that people who practicing gratitude, they are more compassionate, they are more generous, they are more helpful, they are forgiving, they feel less lonely and isolated. Relational benefits, improved and strength relationship, improves quality of relationship, sense of connectedness, sense of secure attachment, and sense of belonging. Now, we will move forward and I will talk how we may practice gratitude and what we may exercise to have gratitude part of our life. It may sound simple, but unfortunately it's not always easy to do those simple things. That's why I will encourage that after this workshop, you may try to use some of them, or if you were using great, continue using this type of approaches and exercises. Again, gratitude journal, because when we're writing for what we're thankful, it always helps us to notice the positive, healthy, or realistic aspects of our life, being able to notice what is good happening in our life. It's like when we have a dark spot on a white paper. I think one of the professors was gave his students assignment to write about dark spot, and everyone was writing something about that small dark spot on a white paper, but no one wrote about white paper. And gratitude helps us to see what is good in our life, that we are able to see those white and good positive sides too. Write a letter to someone to whom you feel that appreciation, you feel like that someone was so special in your life, by simple advice, by the way how he treated you, by the way how he or she supported you. It can be your family members, your friends, it can be your professor who some way suggested you have strengths, you're smart, you can do this even if you don't believe right now in yourself. It can be anyone, it can be your parents. Try to think toward whom you have this thankfulness and you never share, but you were thinking about this. And inside yourself, you were grateful that someone helped you. Say thank you. Simply use that word thank you when some experiences, they are positive. Thank people, thank life situations. Thank someone mentally when you don't have that opportunity to write that letter and give them personally. Thank someone mentally in your mind. Think about those people. Think about someone for whom you are grateful. Take a gratitude walk. What means taking a gratitude walk? When you walk and you're letting yourself to be present and you're letting yourself to open all your senses. You're walking and you're able to see what is there. You're able to hear sounds. You're able to feel your own emotions and feeling and what is happening in surrounding. Being in touch with yourself and being in touch, for example, if you're walking in the park, being in touch with nature, or if you're walking in your neighborhood, being in touch, and let yourself again to be open for that experience. Meditating on gratitude. You can use meditation. If you're religious, incorporating your gratitude in your prayers. And 4 questions. When first I mentioned about writing a journal, gratitude journal, it can be 1 question that you can use for yourself. It can be 5 questions. It can be 2 or 3. But I decided to bring to your attention that you may think and reflect about this and use as a sample, what touched me today? Who or what inspired me today? What made me smile today? What is the best thing that happened today? And it can be a very simple thing. It can be, I don't know, enjoyable coffee time, tea time, or enjoyable breakfast, or nice conversation with someone, or you checked your emails and through all those stressful emails, you found one of the emails that make you feel different about that moment and day. Or simply like You can be thankful to your family member who did a grocery shopping and you were able to continue doing what you need to do. Express that appreciation and gratefulness that they are supporting you, they are helping you. Put things in perspective. What is good about this? What I can learn from this situation or experience? How I can benefit from this? Is there something about this situation that I can be grateful for? Hopefully, all those mentioned exercise approaches will help you to practice this and feel more grateful, even about simple things in our life. Now we will move forward, and I would like to share with you this video.
You think this is just another day in your life? It's not just another day. It's the one day that is given to you today. It's given to you. It's a gift. It's the only gift that you have right now. And the only appropriate response is gratefulness. If you do nothing else but to cultivate that response to the great gift that this unique day is, if you learn to respond as if it were the first day in your life and the very last day, then you will have spent this day very well. Begin by opening your eyes and be surprised that you have eyes you can open. That incredible array of colors that is constantly offered to us for pure enjoyment. Look at the sky. We so rarely look at the sky. We so rarely note how different it is from moment to moment with clouds coming and going. We just think of the weather, and even of the weather we don't think of all the many nuances of weather. We just think of good weather and bad weather. This day, right now, has unique weather. Maybe a kind that will never exactly in that form come again. The formation of clouds in the sky will never be the same that is right now. Open your eyes, look at that. Look at the faces of people whom you meet. Each one has an incredible story behind their face. A story that you could never fully fathom. Not only their own story, but the story of their ancestors. We all go back so far. And in this present moment, on this day, all the people you meet, all that life from generations and from so many places all over the world, flows together and meets you here like life-giving water if you only open your heart and drink. Open your heart to the incredible gifts that civilization gives to us. You flip a switch and there's electric light. You turn a faucet and there's warm water and cold water and drinkable water. It's a gift that millions and millions in the world will never experience. So these are just a few of an enormous number of gifts to which we can open your heart. And so I wish you that you will open your heart to all these blessings and let them flow through you, that everyone whom you will meet on this day will be blessed by you. Just by your eyes, by your smile, by your touch, just by your presence. Let the gratefulness overflow into blessing all around you. And then it will really be a good day.
Now, before we will move toward the end of this workshop, I would like to share another uplifting video about gratefulness and how to say thank you.
Say thank you for grace. Thank you for mercy. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for wisdom. Thank you for parents. Thank you for love. Thank you for kindness. Thank you for humility. Thank you for peace. Thank you for prosperity. Say thank you in advance for what's already yours. That's how I live my life. That's why I am, one of the reasons why I am today. Say thank you in advance for what is already yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for every moment that led to this day. Thank you for the hard times. They made me appreciate the good times. Thank you for the lessons. They were needed for my development. Thank you for my eyes that get to witness the miracles of today and tomorrow. Thank you for everything I take for granted. Thank you for all of my blessings. Thank you for my drive. Thank you for my spirit. Thank you for my strength. Thank you for giving me the courage to fight through the hard times. Thank you for the people in my life, those I love and those I learn from. Thank you for it all. Thank you. Thank you. It's the key that opens the door to instant happiness, unlocks the door to everything we are really seeking in life, happiness and contentment. Think about it. No matter what you say you want, money, riches, health, to help others, why do you really want it? When you drill deep down, the only reason anyone wants anything is the feeling we believe we will get from having it. That all boils down to happiness and contentment. And the truth is, we can have it now if we are grateful. And if you get quiet, get away from the noise of the world, and think for a moment about what you could be grateful for, I'm sure you could find plenty. Be grateful there's food on the table, air in your lungs, life in your body. Get grateful that you have opportunity to take your life to a whole nother level. To decide right now that you are going to live your dreams and never settle until you do. Get grateful for the mental strength you've been given to survive the hard times. Get grateful for your limbs if you have them. Many are not so blessed. Your eyesight if you have it. Many are not so blessed. Your hearing if you have it. Many are not so blessed. The health you do have, many are in worse positions. Get grateful for that one person that has had an impact in your life, or many people if you are so blessed. Then get grateful you can choose to be that person for someone else. That one that makes a difference in someone else's life, no matter how small. Get grateful you get to experience this magical universe. Today, look for miracles. I guarantee if you are looking, you will see them. There are unlimited things to be grateful for. Open your eyes. Unlock your amazing life. It's ready for you right now.
Thank you for this day, whatever it brings, whether a challenge I need to grow, a lineup to teach me patience, an unexpected blessing, every moment of joy, whatever today brings, thank you. Whatever it brings, I pray I have enough presence in each moment to know that no circumstance is my life. No high or low, no event, no thing is my life. Life is energy, and I know I'm so much more than my physical body. Thank you for my ability to love, to give to others my authentic love and kindness without expecting anything in return. Thank you for my strength. Thank you for my presence. Thank you for my ability to attract only the things and people that are in harmony with what I need in my life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this day, whatever it brings.
Now, moving toward the end of workshop, after this beautiful uplifting video about gratefulness, I would like to share with you some sources that you can explore more about forgiveness and gratitude. It's on my reference list. And if you're interested to find more information, you can check those articles or books, and it will take you in the journey finding another information through those books. Thank you very much who participated my workshop today. And all of you have a great day, and I will meet with you next week. Stay tuned. Counseling and Psychological Services providing different type of workshops. And again, have a good day, stay well, and be healthy. I will see you next week.